Hello, spiritual beings. My name is Jeremy Anaker. I am of Affinity Transformations in Madison, Wisconsin. I lead and direct various groups and classes, and we work online and in person. I'm with Linda here. We're doing a dialogue on chakras. Her talent is storytelling. She's going to help me out in Madison, Wisconsin in a few weeks on November 5th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be in person. That's 2023. But this is also just a dialogue between two people that are so excited to be healers, to be on this path to awakening. And Linda is going to introduce herself right now. Tell me where you feel your path began, who you are, what you do. Can you kind of just start, and then I'll ask questions. Ask the questions that you missed.
That would be amazing. I can tell you all the things, Jeremy. Thank you.
Okay.
Wanted to start by letting everybody know that when I do energy transmuting, which is helping the energy to shift and change, my neck will twitch sometimes. So if you notice my neck suddenly going or something like that, I'm okay. It's just something that my body does to let me know that things are shifting and changing in the right ways.
Hmm.
Uh, as I have been on this healing journey, I began to notice that feeling, and I've just kind of allowed it to guide me, per se. And it just looks a little weird sometimes.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to let you know that. Yeah, my name is Linda Strong, and I live in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Currently, I am creating classes. I have guided healing circles, worked one on one with clients, and also really am interested in taking healing into different avenues, like for caregivers, especially, is a huge passion of mine. Um, Caregivers have so much on their plates and have to give so much. And I really want to help give back to caregivers so that they can help who they're caring for. It has the radiant effect of going out into the world, just like any of healing that we do.
Hmm.
Um, I started experiencing and understanding energy and the effects in my early teens. Um, that was a much different world back then. I graduated from high school in 1993, and it was, on the fringe, but I still was really excited about it. I ended up getting married and becoming a teacher in the public school system. And so I kind of packed all of that away, kind of shoved it down and pretended that wasn't me. I can just be a teacher. I can just do this. And I love that I was able to serve in that way for 22 years, um, until my body said no. My body was physically shutting down, and I was trying to continue to go to work and also take care of my father at the end of his life. And so I knew that I had to take steps to walk away from that path. And as soon as I did, the universe gifted me in so many ways. It's just continued to gift me, amplifying my gifts as I take those right steps. You just notice everything lining up and being in sync. You meet the right people at the right times, and your life is in flow. And that has happened more and more and more as my life has progressed. Now, it hasn't been easy. Um, and like everybody else at this time, a lot of things are up in the air. Um, and so I've just been listening to universe and really checking in with my heart, and connecting with the chakra system has really helped me to navigate this in my life. Um, right now, there's just so much going on, so much change, so much turmoil, so much ancestral healing that needs to be done that connects to our physical bodies, our energy bodies, our spiritual bodies, um, our mental health. All of these things are wrapped up in one. They are all connected. And the more that we can energize and lift each other up through our stories, through healings, through sharing space and healing. The more that love can amplify in the world that's really what we need, is a lot more love in this world. There is a lot of love. There's so much love, and I feel like it's my quote unquote job as a healer to just do what I can to take care of myself so that I can help others.
Well, I really know you're a healer because through the whole story, you have a trust principle running. Like I feel this or can tell. You frame everything in terms of I leaped from my profession and I was taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
There may have been fear there. You didn't really speak to that, but it may have been a real process as well.
It took me a long time, Jeremy. I'm stubborn. I am very stubborn. I mean, I I tried to hang on, but once my dad he had a blood cancer, a very rare blood cancer, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. Not wasting my time. I don't want to say my job as a teacher it just wasn't the right place for me anymore. And I knew I had to be at home taking care of my father, taking care of myself. And I'm so grateful I did, because I got to learn so much from him in that experience. Escorting, so I feel like it was a role as a death doula. I was much more his spiritual caretaker than a physical caretaker. He was pretty, I would take him places and just kind of be with him. He was very calm. He was almost a guru status, I would say. He really was giving, caring, and I don't know, I feel so grateful to have that time with him.
So he stayed in the trust space even as he was sick. He was able to emulate spiritual energy,
absolutely,
even when he was physically sick. It's a very powerful fact. I don't think people know that that's possible.
Let me tell you this about, I have so many stories from taking care of him and just being with him at that time. He had cancer throughout his whole body. His brain was riddled with it. It was probably all over by the time we got the diagnosis. It was terminal and very far along. He had fallen at one point, and he got a vertebrae compaction, I believe. Very painful, very painful. And it's at that point they decided he was put on hospice. And at that point, he told me he gave his body to God. He told everybody he had no pain. He gave his body to God. He had no pain meds. He just was happy to be where he was. And
did he live a life like that, or did he discover that when he was sick?
He was always, as my mom called him, the Peter Pan man. He was always a very positive, just helpful, always saw the good in people. And he always said, if somebody doesn't like you, who cares? Like, he just wasn't going to worry about that. And he was a really special man. He always accepted me and my, weirdness as I was, I'm sure. I never felt unwanted or unloved by him. I always felt completely accepted and loved by him.
As you say, you're weird. You seem normal to me. That shows you where I'm at.
Well, I'm probably a little different. I was born into a family who is very religious, the Wisconsin Evangelical Lutheran Synod. And everybody's path is welcome. Everybody has their own beliefs, but that was not in alignment with me, which is a real problem for most of the people in my family. So, but he never.
It takes courage to have your own path, doesn't that? So it really takes resolve, be independent, and to take some flack so you can be yourself. It's not an easy thing to do. It's worth it, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's no other way to be. There's no other way I would want to be.
And I really enjoy you're not judging people that are Lutheran or Christian,
Mm,
and we have nothing against them. We're not trying to change them,
absolutely not.
and
Yeah.
you're choosing a path that really works for you. So as we heading towards a class called Chakras by a Storyteller, you just told a great story about this man who was your father.
Yes. I want to write a book about him. It's,
Yes. I mean, I saw your aura go brighter
yeah.
when you were sharing, especially by the end, his journey through pain and his ability to give it to God. I saw brightness in your energy. And you did mention that you learned how important it was to be able to access your chakras and sort of track them. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. Just, even just bringing attention to our chakra system helps to heal and balance. It's really a very simple healing technique that people can learn to do themselves. And I love to help them learn how to do that themselves and to guide that. I don't want to be somebody who you feel like you have to come to all the time to heal you,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not my role. I'm here to guide. Um, and I just love, people taking control of their own energy, because that's where it is. In the essence, we are all here. We're here to help each other, but we're here to help ourselves first.
Yeah, I can relate to just bringing awareness to you. Awareness is an agent. So it's the light, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a challenge to trust that. Well, in
Mm-hmm.
what ways are you able to show people that there's some real power there? Just bringing an observation to the chakras, for instance.
I think the best way to show people is for them to experience it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So you
And it
lead
can
them,
be a quick session.
lead their attention in a session.
Yeah. It can be in a group. It could be one-on-one. It can be on Zoom. It can be in person. It's just a very simple, effective technique. When I do like psychic fairs or other things, I do just a little 15-minute session where we cleanse and connect our chakras, and then connect with our soul for 3 personal mantras that your soul wants you to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it really amazes me how just a little 15 minutes can really um, help people release some things that they need to be released, and to be able to move forward a little bit lighter. You walk away just feeling lighter, brighter, and more focused.
I liked what you said. You spoke to making sure the chakras are connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Years ago, I watched chakras. I like to give feedback on what they look like as I
Mm-hmm.
see them. And years ago, I had a class, somebody showed up, and I could tell they were looking at the chakra books. They might have had a stack of them. And why did I know this? Because each chakra was a very clear pattern, very ornate and very kind of stylized in its presentation in their aura. So I was just like, what I saw chakra after chakra going right down the system. And I asked her to consider finding a way to make sure the chakras are flowing together, because the strong impression of seven chakras, like memorized and practiced
Mm-hmm.
and sat with in separate territories, is not being told to really integrate and dance and connect and what is it, team up on how to function in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that you said connect, make sure they're all connected.
Yep. I always do a cleanse and a connect. And in it, I also let them know that this is something you can work on in yourself. And we all need to realize we are what word am I looking for? The masters of our own ships.
Mm.
We are the masters of our own ships. And
And it's guided by what you're holding in mind.
hmm?
The ship is guided by what you hold in mind.
Yeah. One other thing I like what you said about how you know, the chakras can be, you can read all the books and read the things, and it's
Right,
all very
right.
systematic, but um it's also very welcomed and invited to just let your intuition show you what is needed in each chakra, to the point where, you know, even if you're seeing a different color, it's okay. If you're seeing different things than I'm seeing, it's okay, because you're being shown exactly what you're supposed to be shown. A lot of people will question their own intuition because of what someone else is saying. And I'll say that's not okay. It doesn't mean anyone else is wrong. It just
Right.
is, we need to build our own self, our own knowledge base for ourselves and our own inner knowing, which kind of comes into play with what you were speaking about with religions, and how different religions can see things differently, but it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's just a different way that is shown to them.
You know, I think I'm getting better on at this every year. I've been on the path, and it's to see if what person's doing is working for them and celebrate it. It's,
Mm-hmm.
if I could find a way to track for what they're doing and how it works, and that it works, I want to celebrate it. I do not want to give them something, some insight, if what they do works for them. I just want to then enjoy it.
Absolutely. That's a
Tell me
really,
about it. I want. It sounds like you could talk to your dad that way. He would just share about his connection to God, and it would be very Lutheran.
yeah. He never was very Lutheran, Jeremy.
Okay.
I mean,
Hmm.
he did go to Lutheran church, but he never
Okay.
was preachy. I had no idea my dad would say that at the end. I was shocked.
Oh, so he wasn't like preachy or God, God, God.
Oh,
But at the
God, no. Absolutely not. If anything, my mom was more of that, but she was more of the, you better do what God says or you're going to hell.
end,
Um, it's like, whoa, I don't believe in hell. But anyway, no, he wasn't at all. He was working on cars all the time and
I
always
see.
helping. I did want to say this too. When I was deciding what to do about my job and things, my dad did not want me staying in that job. He wanted me, he said I needed to do what made me happy. He wanted to support me in that, and um he just believed in me. And I'm just so grateful for that push and that support in that way.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, because
So
he said he always loved his
your
job. He
passions is
loved
to
to
teach.
work.
One of your passions is to teach classes,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna teach a class in a few weeks. And we're putting storytelling out there with chakras. So if someone shows up to a class like they're doing in 2 weeks, or went to one of your sessions, what is your style? Can you tell more about that? What is that going to look like?
Well, it's probably going to feel a lot like what you and I talking together feels like.
Okay.
It's going to feel calming. It's going to feel enriching. Um, I like to have an open dialogue, not just me speaking about things. I like to be very in the moment and know how to respond to who is there, rather than being a scripted type of a situation. I don't believe in that. While I know that there's certain information that needs to come through and we have a very specific reason for something, I also know that spirit is part of this, and everything that happens is going to happen just as it's supposed to. And so my goal with our chakra class, our storytelling chakra class, is um to introduce everybody to, sorry, I'm kind of tapping into spirit space here. I just felt like this shift is to tap into our chakras, get to learn our chakras through a story event where I'll just talk about it in a way that's going to help everybody understand and maybe remember a little bit more. um, we all remember and we learn through stories, and also it helps us to retain that information. And even if we don't retain the information, it's okay. If it filters in and through, it does its work and exits its perfectly fine. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. And there's also I'm feeling a real call in my root chakra to speak about the rewriting of our stories. A lot of us get stuck in our stories of who we are or who we are perceiving ourselves to be, and helping everybody, helping others along with myself, accept and understand how to rewrite those stories to fit who we really are or who we feel we are is a really important theme at this time.
Have you helped a person look at their story and rewrite it, maybe in the chakra, root chakra um, territory? Have you seen
I have
someone
been helping myself rewrite that story. This
try
is a
to
new, yeah, this
of
is
it?
a new avenue for me in thinking of my healing. I'm definitely a storyteller in many ways. I've always felt like it's really important. It's really important for us to talk about the hard things,
Mm-hmm.
and really amplifying that throat chakra. I actually have a little crystal grid here just for the throat chakra for this event, mixed with some pink, because I love to use color therapy too. A
Mm-hmm.
pink candle to just bring that heart forward through our speaking, because it's through that sharing of the stories that they become like the ones that are holding us back, the ones that are dampening our and bringing us our energies down. Those can be healed just by speaking it. I've always really felt that just through sharing, and sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. um I've noticed I've started, when somebody asks me like, how are you doing, I'm not going to just say good. Like, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not having a good day, I'm going to tell you, because I think it's important. And I'm not trying to like burden anybody, but I think we as a universe, as a species, I'm not even sure what word I'm picking up on there.
Mm-hmm.
Just having honesty and being open to that honesty is really important to me.
You mentioned root chakra, and what
Mhm.
I think of when I sit with root chakra is the sense of safety, stability,
Mhm.
the foundation. Um, and I um, find a way to be stable emotionally, mentally, spiritually, where I'm not as easily knocked over.
Yes.
I change the story. If I was knocked around more in early life, then I can uh, draw on trust, my spirit, and the sense of possibility, and hold in mind that I can be less affected by
Hmm.
others. One thing I think about is this moment, or my place on the planet is my garden. Yes, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world. It's
Hmm.
my garden still. There's manipulation, there's dark forces, there's the way the media manipulates the masses. There's the news being a consumer product instead of news. Guess what? This is still my garden. I'm gonna be on this place of the earth completely, and I'm gonna say yes. So that's what I think of when changing my stories as I move to a place of less wobbliness.
Yes,
So I think I just told a little story.
you did. You're a fantastic storyteller.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't sure I was. I know I
No.
work at it. I like the concept so much. Sometimes I forget to put a good story to a concept.
Hmm.
So uh, I think I was given some unstable views on the world when I was a kid. And I think I let people in and expose me to other pathways, other senses of life. And I absorbed things. I was very I guess I was gifted with being like a sponge in some ways.
Hmm.
When I met someone, I just consumed them and their energy, just like it got inside me.
Did
And
you
when
have?
somebody had gifts, I really sponged it up. I became a part of it somehow.
Hmm.
And so I think that was a gift in helping me move out of limitations in myself.
I'm seeing like this just image of somebody like bushwhacking through the thicket just to get through it.
Yeah,
A lot of
I
imagery. I see movies, and that's one of my gifts is psychic sight through visions and
yeah, a
movies.
movie screen right there. I got one of
Pretty
those too.
much. And it's amazing. It amazes me how it'll just be this really off the wall stuff where I'm like, oh, I don't want to say that. Like it'll just there was one session.
Mhm.
So whenever I start my healing sessions, the longer ones, I will ask spirit, what does this person need to know today?
Right.
And show me something. It'll start really quickly. And if I don't say it, it'll just keep playing until I say it. I'll
Mhm.
kind of argue like, oh, I don't want to say that one. And there was one where it was a circus. Like I just suddenly saw all these like trapeze and like I'm like, well, this is silly. Like I don't want to tell her this. But I did. I'm like, okay, spirit, I'm believing in you. And she said, yeah, last week I was talking about joining a circus. I was like,
Oh,
wow. I think the universe is saying, hey, that's a good choice because it looks really good. But if I were to put my mind in that, if I were to question my gifts, I
mm-hmm.
wouldn't have even said it. Um, but it's just trusting, having a lot of trust in yourself.
I ought to underline a fact, and I've been stating this since I met you. When I'm with you, there's like this calming, warm energy just settling my whole system down, and
Mm-hmm.
you do that without words. So like that sort of shows up first. You don't even speak. All of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, I'm like settled down. And where do you feel like you got that from?
Well, okay, and I people have said that to me for I don't know. I know I'm in human design, I'm an emotional projector.
Okay.
Um, I feel like and that's just one name for it. There's many other things, but I've really enjoyed learning about that. I'm interested in learning more and more about it. And I feel like that really is projectors are here to kind of help guide other energies and to help direct other energies. Um, I'm not even sure how to even put it right now, but I feel like that's what that sort of is. We're here to help.
Trait you were born with, and you've been
Yeah,
cultivating it
yeah.
as a gift. You understood it was there at some point. You became a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's crazy. I can manage a whole room of 30 kids, really no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just feel like it is that, that real calming energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Room full of kids, you just know you're
every,
creating influence in the quiet. You just
yeah.
letting everybody
I
down.
really love some of the things I did as a teacher. And if I when I exited, it was so stressful. But if
Mm-hmm.
I think about the years and years of things that I did to help these little kids who, when I think back on it now, how much trauma these kids live in every single day,
Mm-hmm.
that was a big job. And it still is. My heart goes out to all of those teachers helping all these little souls that are living in situations. And that's
Mm-hmm.
part of my call to help heal, help caretakers. That's
As a healer, over the years, I feel like one of my main jobs is for people to find a place in their spirit to give from that's not human, superhuman, or
mhm,
from human sensitivity, like because we can wear ourselves out. I have one friend I was talking to last year, and she's a Ho Chunk Native American, and she said, "Yeah, I'll go work with the homeless, but I can only do it for like 6 months at a time."
mhm.
And then she burns out. She just can't
It's good
take it.
to know what we can do. Yeah.
There's only so much you can do.
Mhm.
So for me, like with my friends that are school teachers, the ones that could do it for longer, seem to reduce their heart chakra a bit and just kind of understand they have like sort of a job to do, like a structural job.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends, he's like been in the school system for probably a good 25 years now or more. And he said, when I first started out, I had all these things I wanted the kids to know, and I knew that I could influence them. And
Mm-hmm.
then somewhere like at 15 years or 10 years, that totally changed. There was some things that I thought I could do for some of them. And then in like 20 years, he said, I didn't know anything. I had no idea. Um, where everything I've tried had limits. I just had to be there and do my
Yeah.
best and let the chips fall. You can't fix all the trauma. You can only be there and represent some kind of functional quality, some kind of
Mm-hmm.
principle. And so I think if he didn't adjust in that way, he would have worn himself down completely.
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's yeah, I think he's I have to
So
go
there's
check
something
that
to the
phone.
chakras being more balanced after the years. After years, you need that.
Yeah. I need to excuse myself for 1 second. I just got a phone call and I need to
Okay.
check that. And
Okay.
normally that would be really hard for me to say, but I just need to
Okay.
do that. It's pretty important.
See.
Okay. Never mind. It's potential spam. I thought it might have been my son.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good priority.
Yeah.
Okay. So chakras not getting along, chakras getting along. That's that could be a before and after. What's a before and after story of chakras not getting along? And how does a person change when their chakras start getting along? What's different?
Um, I wouldn't say chakras ever don't get along. I would say chakras get clouded up with other people's energy. We lose some of our energy in other places. We leave part of ourselves in other places. They can become really slow or amped up. They can become too open or too closed. Um, Through a cleansing, you're able to really help your chakras to calm down, maybe cleanse. And again, it's all very intuitively guided and based on how it feels in the moment. Afterwards, you walk away feeling just a lot lighter. You'll feel physically lighter, spiritually lighter, emotionally lighter. You should, anyway. I don't think I've ever had anyone leave feeling worse than they did coming in. Um,
Well, it sounds like a little bit more functional. You're open to other people. You might catch on to being flexible when it's important to be flexible.
yeah, you get less anxious, anxiety releases a little bit more. People can sleep better when you have less anxiety in your life. Just realizing that all of this stuff, this couch, this house, the car, all of that are just distractions from our true selves. Um, and the more we can remind ourselves of that fact, the easier it is going to be for us going forward as we're navigating all the changes in this world.
I felt like I had some moment like that today. It was a nice day out for one thing, but I was really in the moment and it was effortless. I didn't have to, there was no special practice to do. It was just life is being and it's everywhere and it's very alive and I'm just resting in it. And I'm like all the different um, pathways and frameworks for healing and awakening were like nowhere in sight. All I could just do was just be,
Mhm.
It did come in mind that I had some projects around the house and I was thinking about like investing in my house and am I attached to it? And I really, all of a sudden, I really felt like I could just simply sell my house, and it would be just, it's just a transition. And it wouldn't, I'm not, it's not me. It's not who I am. It's just a part of this moment. It's just an aspect of this moment. And I was naturally in a space where my spirit was more important than my house, or more important than my gongs behind me,
Mm.
or my harmonium, or
All your
community.
beautiful instruments.
All my beautiful instruments. Like, it's all good. It's harmony. It was so obvious this harmony in me, or this sense of being, was priority. It's like, that's the natural way to be. Like,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with this house as it serves a purpose. But when it's time, you just sell it or give it away or something.
Yeah, it's just stuff.
It's
Like
just stuff.
it's so not important. I've gotten that message a few times just to like get rid of all my stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in that process right now with the home that I'm in. It was my parents, and so this is a big root chakra thing that
Oh,
I'm going through, cleansing and clearing out stuff, my own stuff and parent stuff, and just emotionally I just know that this is the deep work that I need to do right now for my
yeah.
group.
My grandparents moved on, and I watched their whole process as they gave away stuff. And
Hmm.
my parents are still around, and they still have a bunch of stuff, but they do give things away. But I remember having way more of a human perception about stuff in my grandparents' home and the memories I had. And now I have a more spiritual framework where I kind of see the house they lived in and raised kids in for many, many years. It's sort of, from my more eternal stuff, it looks more like a tent than like history was made here. Like, it was
Hmm.
just like a temporary structure for a function for a point in time in the full process of humanity, is like a small element of something far greater.
Hmm.
And it's interesting how my perspective has shifted, because I had so much nostalgia with living or staying in my grandma's house, and all the different memories and the different adventures I had there, which are still good memories. And I had a lot of attachment to that home. But now I'm kind of like, it's good. It's good to see those things from a new way. When I
Hmm.
leave this body, can I let this body be this temporary dwelling? It was a sacred vehicle. It was sacred in that it housed my spirit. But now, like, let it go, let it be, let it go back to another state, in the ground, or in ashes, or in a gas form from being cremated, whatever it is. But just let it be, let it go.
Yeah, it's and our spirit moves on.
Indeed. So that's our
Yeah,
perspective.
so just up to, you're right. It's just this temporary thing that we're in at the moment.
Yes. Yes.
And it
Well, I'm
feels so weird to
interfacing
me.
with this body mind we call Linda. I've been having fun with you. I really enjoy our like-mindedness. We have spiritual values, and it's
Hmm.
non-religious. Neither of us are religious,
Hmm.
and we're gonna work together in a few weeks to serve whoever can show up to this space. I'll have all the chairs out, and it'll be a hoot. So look at the
Very
link
good.
below, and also follow the link below, and we can help you find Linda if you'd like to get a session from her. This video may be um, seen in weeks or months, or in a few years. I get a sense that Linda's going to be around a while.
I sure hope so. But what
Okay.
will be, Jeremy.
Will be. It seems like you would be your committed healer. I'm saying that.
Absolutely. This is
Around
my
as a
life
committed.
path, and I'm just so excited to be here and so grateful for you.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for having this time with me and sharing. And we'll do it again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. So everybody, check the link below. Find your way to a class that's related to Linda. I'll also place a link there for Linda's details. Thank you so much and have a great day. Okay.